All right, and share screen. First, let me get this up there. Share. All right. Well, thanks for joining us every Tuesday. And today we're going to go over some ideas on you need help, you need an assistant, and Debbie and I will give you ideas and things when you need help, especially agents that are growing their business. We get it. Occasionally agents coming up like, I can't do, well, Deb, we find out when we're like, when we reach out to them looking for documents or people calling the office and need stuff from us because the agent was too busy with the new buyers and sellers. Sometimes you get to that point, which is a good point to be in, where you go, I need help.
Yes.
And we're going to give you some ideas on what to do when you need help to organize yourself, or what if you want to hire an assistant, what the assistant can do. Like, just had that this morning, right? I think that agent was reaching out to us because they're having a family emergency and they needed someone to go show a house, and they were asking, hey, can I have my assistant go show the house? But not to go into off tangent, but no, you can't unless they're licensed. But we gave them ideas on what to do when you need help, especially this summer, people taking vacations, kids, I've been doing this for so long that I know that the kids, you have kids or grandkids, they get busy, and school is easy, in and out, back and forth. But then summer, you never know, things going on with your family, vacations, you need help. And we're going to give you some ideas to that. So we'll jump right into it. Deb, you could go with the first slide. Go ahead.
Okay, so there's different options I have listed here. The first one is join a team, because then you have teammates. A lot of times you have transaction coordinators included and stuff like that. But if that's not something you want to do because you want to keep yourself all individualized and you don't want to share your profit and all that jazz with someone else, then that's fine. But that is an option for you. Another option is, I'm going out of turn here, but another option is to partner with another agent. So we have a lot of agents that partner with others. Maybe one person is better at the paperwork and the other people are better at, going and showing the homes and pointing out things that way and stuff. So that could be an option instead of a team. And then you have more help, right? So you have two people who are licensed that can speak to everyone. Right. So we have father-son teams, we have husband and wife teams, we have sisters that are teams, we have mother-daughter teams, we have all kinds of people who are just partners that team up with each other to help each other work with their things. You can hire a personal assistant in person or virtual. So maybe your niece is a college student. She's going to be off for the summer, and the summer is when it's real busy, and you have a daytime job, but your real estate business is booming and you need some extra help there. You can hire an assistant for that. Maybe there's also virtual places where you can check things out to see. That's the virtual desk I have listed down there. They have virtual assistants too, so you can hire those. Anyone who is working with a personal assistant, couple things to keep in mind. The brokerage has to know who they are because they're talking on behalf of us. So they have to sign documents for that. If you want them to have access to the MLS, they have to have their own access because we do not share our access with anyone. And you are the one that's going to be paying them. The office does not pay personal assistants. That would be you. So if you want to use them, you're going to pay them yourself. And then another service you can use for showing homes, for instance, like Tony was talking about, Showami is a good one. We've recently signed up with them, Full Go, and that's a good place to go. It doesn't cost you very much money to get someone to go out and show a home for you and such. And then, like I said, Virtual Desk is a virtual assistant option. So there's more, you can check them out, but those are just a few suggestions for that. So now let's get into the do's and don'ts.
Well, one thing I want to say about this, most agents now, I think, well, we'll just say over the last several years or more, it's before they needed help, with documents, like getting people to sign documents and delivering documents and getting them to people. This is before everybody started using DocuSign or Loop. And of course, being so accessible, being able to do things. I mean, back in the day, we had assistants that just, okay, run these documents over to the seller's house, get them to sign, come back, that kind of thing. So now with everything more technology wise, I think agents need more help physically showing houses, being there for inspections and things like that. So I tell agents this, and some newer agents, and I don't say this enough to agents to think outside the box. We have agents that sell houses every month that don't live in Ohio. Well, we have agents, well, at least one I know of, that sells many houses in Ohio every month and doesn't even live in the country. So you can do real estate without physically being here. You just need to team up with somebody or have someone do showings or someone being here. It's kind of like a team leader. Like technically myself, as a broker, I sell hundreds and hundreds of houses every year through agents, through our company. We have team leaders. We have teams in our office that sell hundreds of houses every year, but they're not the ones going to show the houses. They're not the ones writing the contract. They're just overseeing everything. So many agents get stuck in a box thinking, I got to do everything. I want, what a successful agent that makes the most money is the agent that concentrate most of their time on generating leads and being a quarterback to everything that's happening within their business, not doing everything. Can you imagine, like, if you had a restaurant and you were like the hostess walking the people in, showing them to their table, and then when they take their order, you have to go make the food, and when the food's ready, you got to bring it out, and then when they're done, you have to clean the table. That's how most agents do. How successful how much money could that restaurant make if you're doing all of the jobs, right? So that's our real estate business. If you have a business, if you want to get to a certain point, now you could be successful. We have some great successful agents that do it all themselves from start to finish. That's totally fine. It's a lot of hours and a lot of work. But if you want to scale up, you're going to have to get an assistant or get people that, like, the show me is great to show houses, and you just pay per person. You don't have to hire someone, you just pay per time. So there's different ways to go about that. But now we'll go into the important things of what not to do, right, Deb?
Right. The first thing we want to talk about, what licensees can do. Of course, y'all know what you can do, right? You can show the homes, you can do the open houses, you can write the contracts, you can transfer the properties, you can talk to prospective buyers and sellers, provide information about room counts and prices and stuff like that. Of course, we all know what our job is. That's why if you team up with another licensee, you don't have to worry about, oh my God, did they overstep the line and say or do something they're not supposed to do? But sometimes people just want to have their niece help them with certain things and stuff. So now let's look at what you can't do. And this is not an inclusive list. If you want more information about what unlicensed personal assistants cannot do, I have a whole list for you. I just throw a couple of these things on the next slide.
All right, next.
What you can do, you can organize your agent, right? You can schedule inspections, you can confirm closings with title, you can create and send out marketing materials, send out greeting cards and such like that. Anything that has to do with marketing, your assistant can do that. They're not talking directly to the clients about houses, right? They can send out mailers, they can install signs, they can keep records of contact information, and they can keep records of your documents. There's many people who have the Loop or the DocuSign where their personal assistants have access to that because they're keeping track of all the things. That's something that helps the agent so that they have more time to focus on the other things. Like, for instance, with our office, we have our listing coordinator that puts all the listings into the MLS for you. She's not licensed, but she's going off of the paperwork that you, as a licensee, gets to with your client together, sends over to the office, and she does all of that in data input stuff. It's tedious, it's boring, nobody wants to do it, it takes up a lot of time. Carly loves it, that's her job, right?
Right. And yeah, the other thing, I mean, with technology, with like say just dot loop, a personal assistant can be in your dot loop, making sure your files in order, making sure you're getting things back and signed, making sure they could talk to lenders, they could talk to title, they could talk to home inspectors, they could talk to people, just organizing and setting appointments and things like that. But again, just like Deb said, that you can't, person says can't talk like verbally to or text through themselves asking people for information or talk to them about the transaction or advice or anything like that, or even technically give keys or hand keys to
Right,
someone, or even tell them where an address of a home is,
right,
it's a very fine line going over the doing the wrong thing. But now again, with technology, said like, can you talk to someone through, you're not really talking, you're logging into their dot loop or watching their dot loop with them and making sure everything's getting sent out and signed and initialed and all of that. You're doing, they don't know you're in the background, you're just doing that for them. So as
right.
long as we know who they are and that you're responsible for them and understand what they're doing, you can do that. And also again, like Deb said, we have a longer list if you want the longer list of things, but always reach out and let us know.
Yeah, just remember that your documents are all legal documents, right? So that's why we're licensed. They're not. So they cannot be creating documents and
Right.
sending them to people. The agent still has to do that.
Right,
Okay.
they just got to
But
make sure, they could just make sure they come back.
yep,
And
they
make
just
sure
make
you
sure it comes
organize
back.
you.
Yep.
All right,
That's all.
next.
Or that it gets over to the title company or it gets to the lender. They can order those inspections for you if you want and stuff. Now, there are, especially in our office too, there are agents who, excuse me, will farm out their services to go sit at that general home inspection for you because you have to have someone open the door, right? And preferably a licensee, you want a licensee there so that they know who they're talking to and stuff. Or maybe the appraisal, you got to have a licensee open the door for the appraiser too. And if you can't be there or the listing agent can't be there, we do have people that for a trip fee will go do that for you. So there's lots of different ways to do stuff. The bottom line of this particular Zoom that we're talking about today is to try and help people with their stress level, because sometimes when you're so overwhelmed with either so many deals that you just can't deal with it, or with your other job interfering with your life as a real estate agent, and we don't want you to quit. We don't want you to get discouraged. So we're giving you different ideas of how to deal with all of that, if that makes sense.
Right, and then here in our office, I always explain that we're here to help you with your business, not we can't do it for you. So a lot of agents are like, oh, do you help with the paperwork? Yes, to accept. We make sure it's all there and things are signed and initialed right, but we'll tell you what's missing. So you have to go out and physically do it. You got to go call your client. With 500 agents, we can't make your calls for you. We can't make do all your paperwork for you, but we're here to help you and give you these tips and things and what to do. And we're always here to make sure you're doing things correctly. If questions and that, and even myself as the broker, when you have a client, I mean, several times a month, I'm on the phone with a buyer and or seller because they want to talk to me, and Deb too, on the, several times a month. But when it gets to a point where you're like, they want to talk to management because they just want to know, someone else above you, so to say, which we're not really above you, we're helping you, but someone, they want to hear from someone else, we'll do that. But I get many agents like, well, this buyer, can you just tell them? And Deb, I had one agent, brand new agent, was great because there was a situation and she just needed help. And I went against my policy. I said, well, let me call them. She goes, no, you tell me what to say so I could learn how to handle these situations when they come up in the future. And I said, thank you. I almost jumped the gun and said, no, can I call them? I'm like, I went against my policy. Like, no, I got to show you and teach you through situations what you should say. So I know, Deb, you could agree to this. There's so many times that things that we do to help help you that would have been so much easier if we did it ourselves. Like,
Yeah.
like let us do it for you, but we want to teach you and show you. So please, yeah. So I guess that's the best explanation, right? Deb, is like so many times agents get in situations, especially your newer agents or different, like, can you just do this for me? And we would love to. Take us 5 seconds in a quick phone call, but it actually takes us more time to help train you and show you how to do it yourself, kind of like teach you to fish or give you to fish. It's faster to hand you a fish. You're like, you're hungry, here's fish.
Right.
It takes you a lot longer for us to teach you how to fish and do it for yourself and how to do it. So that's so and hopefully that made some sense, especially to our agents, because a lot of times it comes up and like, can you do this for me, that for me? And I said, we'll spend even more time just showing you how to make it easier, convenient, how to diffuse a situation or how to help a situation. And it takes more time. And but we know in the long run, it's going to help you.
Well,
So,
yeah, because if we do it for you, you don't know how to fix it the next time. So
correct. And we want to do that. And
Yep.
that's our great support that we have as an office, is that we're going to always be here, for your whole career of real estate to help you with this.
Yep.
That's our real main number one thing that puts us different or better than our competition, is that we have this and it's forever and it's the same people on that. So and we enjoy that. All right, sorry, there's a long explanation of that, but I love to talk.
No, that's okay, because I think it gets the whole point across of what I was trying to get to today is you do have help. There's different options and ways to do it, but the bottom line is you're the real estate agent. You're the one that needs to be talking to your clients and explaining everything to them so that you can build that relationship with them and get your referrals and such, right?
And that's and honestly, that's example like this. There's, not to go into detail or training, example showings. Now houses, sorry, I'm going off on a tangent.
Okay.
But you have so many, like someday there's going to be a time where you're having listings that might take 6 months, 8 months, a year to sell. And this is just one thing and some people we have showing time and different things, and to make appointments and follow up with sellers, sending them reports. And I have some agents that never physically talk to their their listings, their sellers, until there's an offer. And sometimes it could go weeks, months, and then they never hear from you, but there's showings and things happening, and they don't pick up the phone to call them about a showing coming up or what happened after the showing. So that's example of technology that helps you. Sometimes agents go, oh, good, I have a couple listings, and now I don't have to talk to my sellers as much because it automatically makes the appointment. Because years ago, we have to make the appointment ourselves. Agent calls us, we call the seller calls us back. We may say, are you available at home? But we used to have that connection with the seller, and they used to hear our voice often. But now sometimes we use technology but that's an example where sometimes technology saves you time, but you should be the ones talking to your clients. That's the whole point. So the more technology you use to organize yourself, that's great, but try not to use technology to limit to how much time you talk to your client. Imagine talking to your seller. You're like, oh, I don't have to call them every time someone makes an appointment to see the property. And I can understand it's 50 a day, but if it's 1 or 2 a week, why aren't you calling your seller? Hey, we just booked another appointment. How are you doing today? Just can't wait. Is that a good time for you? And it helps you communicate with them. So the point I was making, if you're busy, try not to use the things to cut out time to contact and build a relationship with your clients. Then you ask for referrals. The more you talk to them, the more they feel that they're connected to you. The worst thing a seller could say about you is that, wow, I hired them to sell my house. They did sell my house. I talked to them when they listed the house. And the last time I talked to them once when we had the offer done. Then we talked to them one time when they closed, and that was it. They talked to me 3 times, So hopefully that made some sense.
Yeah, that's a perfect way to end this, because I didn't even think about that part. Remember to keep building your relationship with your client, and don't rely on all of this too much, the technology and stuff.
Right.
We do have a lot of part-time agents, but you still have to be communicating with your client so that they know that you care and that you're there for them.
Right. So yeah, so I think the key is to try to use assistance, help, showings when you really need it, but make sure you're not doing everything you can to avoid being on the phone with your clients or building a relationship with your clients. Like I have several agents over the last few weeks, because we've been rolling out Show Me a little bit more on how to manage your clients when another agent is showing them the properties. So that's a whole nother video. We kind of did that already, but you could talk to us on how to manage your clients and make sure you don't lose them to another agent because you're losing the connectivity. You shouldn't be losing the connectivity because some agent showed them a couple houses. There should be a lot more to your relationship other than showing them 3 or 4 houses in a night, if that makes some sense. All right, well, this would go on forever, so go with the CE classes coming
See,
up.
we thought it was going to be a quick one, didn't we?
Yes, we always do. We always do.
Okay, so Mike has Working with Buyers. All you people who want to know his secrets about working with buyers, he's going to give it to you for 2 hours of continuing education. So you get to hear Mike Ferrante's view on working with buyers, which is a great class right there. And then Hash is going to be talking about mortgage and condominiums. We have John Dewey, who's doing core fair housing, which is your civil rights, and that's 3 hours of CEU. He is one of our agents. He also works for OFA. So he does do a class, and we'll have a couple more coming up this year about OFA. So if you are an agent of one of ours and you want some information about OFA, I have a ton of it for you. All you got to do is ask me and I'll send it to you. But they help with financing situations with people. So it's the Ohio Housing Finance Association agency that helps with your HEROES programs or down payment assistance or even tax breaks. They have quite a few different programs. So if you want information about that, either contact John Dewey or hit me up and I'll send it to you. And then
And I think just that class, someone just emailed me. I think that I might have the time wrong. It starts at 11. So if you click the register,
the 13th. Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that someone just said, hey, but online it said 11 o'clock, but you'll see it when you register for that. So.
Okay. All right. And then in July, right after the holiday, Hash is doing his Thursday. And this is going to be something new. This is a new one. So I don't know what this class is all about. Key positions in the mortgage industry. You're going to hear from him. He'll probably be talking about the gross national product because he does that all the time too. So you'll hear some real good information about that too. If you have any questions or you need help with anything from us, of course, you know where we are. You can always contact us. Holidays coming up. So here's a little bit of suggestions that you can give to people for their barbecues and stuff. Make sure you have your contact information on there. You can make little labels with your name and your phone number and Century 21 Homestar if you're with us, and put it on the bottles. And these are just short little bottles that you're giving out.
Right. And like a sticker.
Yeah, sticker.
We could make stickers and put it on the top. We could put it on the side, put it wherever. I think any type of condiments people don't throw out.
Yeah, right. They use them.
You could go to Costco and get these, and I think everybody will, I don't know anybody that doesn't have like ketchup and mustard or whatever in their fridge.
Yeah.
One of those things like I could always make space for it, and they'll see their sticker in you, and hopefully they'll bring it out during a family party this summer, and it'll have your information there. So hey, if it's these are these are things like sometimes when we talk to agents, like I don't want, I don't have the budget for this. again, if I could make a perfect world for you about building businesses, that you have a, say you sold a house, you made X amount of dollars on that house, taking some of that money going, well, I want to pop by this person's house once a year for the next 10 years. And I'm going to spend $10 on some condiments once a year. So there's 10 years, there's $100, put $100 aside, put it in an account, and go, okay, now I have the money. I just, save the money to have a pop by. So imagine you have an account and you just put, 10, every sale, $100 a sale, every sale you have, buyer or seller, and just put it in an account and say, now I have the budget for 10 years of spending $10 on these people. Because
Right.
again, and then when you go to the store, like, well, I got X amount of clients, I don't want to spend $100 or $200 buying these pop buy stuff. I'm like, well, if the money was sitting in an account, you it just already set aside, and it's there for business. Most agents honestly don't do that. Most agents just get a check, put it in their personal account, done. And then when they have to invest in their business, they feel like, I don't want to take it out of my personal account, right? But if you set money aside into a business account and you hold it there, you'll actually sit there and like, okay, this is money just for marketing. And then you'll say, wow, I have $500 in there. What can I do to market? Maybe send out some postcards, send out something. So again, Debbie and I could go over more stuff about that. And last one. Well, this is we kind of talk about that. Things coming up.
Yeah. So things that are coming up for Memorial Day, make sure you have your cards on you, or any little kind of things that you want to give out and stuff. Passing out flags at the local parade that have your information on the handle of it or something like that is a great way to do it. Go to the farmers markets, go to the fireworks displays, hit your festivals. Festivals are starting to be in season now. I know there's arts and crafts shows popping up all around. You can find Facebook actually is a great place to find lists of all these things. I see them all the time. They pop up with, I just got a whole list of all the county fairs that are coming up, for this summer and everything. The concerts, those are so prevalent, and they're back in style now that COVID's over, So if you're over here by us, you have Twinsburg that does them. You have them in Mayfield. They do them on Friday nights. Menor Rocks is on Tuesdays. I know Chardon, out where I live in Geauga County, they now have some concerts at their pavilion, or their little gazebo up there in the center of town. Hit these places, you guys. Talk to your neighbors, talk to your local people, let them know who you are.
Right. And you could go around and drop off, say it's a concert out there, depending upon, I don't think it would be a problem. You're handing out bottles of water. I mean, I wouldn't say you set up a stand, but you could go through the crowd and say, hey, here's a bottle of water with a little sticker on it, or a little thing, and who's not going to take a bottle of water? Just say hello and move on. There's different, you got to meet people. There's unlimited amount of things you could do with people. And then again, anytime there's a holiday where people could get together, this is the time to reach out to people before the holiday. So quick, I know it could keep on going. We knew it was going to be short, but it's going long. Example, call everybody on Memorial Day. Say, listen, hey, I just want to wish you, to have a happy, or whatever the best way you want to say it, Memorial Day. But hey, I'm reaching out to you just to remind you I'm in real estate, here to help you. And just in case you run into any family and friends over the holiday, keep my name on top of mind. I'm happy to help and take any referrals. So reminding them right before they might meet with their friends, their family, their events, and you just put an advertisement for them to remind you. And then the next couple of days, like, oh, and then they run into a family member that says, oh yeah, what's new in your life? Well, we're thinking about buying a house. Wow. Hey, my realtor that I bought a house from 10 years ago just calls me and several times, and here's his name and number. Text them your information so they could show it to them right away. So you're one of the first texts on your phone. They're searching through there. Hey, he just texted me yesterday. There's unlimited amount of ideas, but this is the best time. Best time of year is always the holidays. So But is that it? I think that was the last slide,
I
right?
think that's it. Yep.
That's it. All right, stop share. All right. Well, thanks for joining us, everybody. Thought it was going to be short, but it went longer. But remember, reach out to Debbie or myself. We're always here to help you and put you on our schedule. I know our schedule gets busy, so book as far in advance as you can. but
Yep, for sure.
but like always. And then another reminder, especially to our agents out there, anytime you meet Debbie or I, and if it's an emergency, because our days are packed every half hour with, helping agents, just let us know or call the office and let us know. Just say, hey, I need to talk to Tony, I need to talk to Debbie. You got to let us know what it's regarding so we can put you ahead of people,
Yep.
like it's an emergency. Are you coming through, kind of what it is? Because sometimes, we don't want to push anybody, but if we could discuss this, how about tomorrow at 3:00, or someone says, I'm with a buyer right now, I need some help, then just let us know. We're always there. We move people around all the time. So, all right. Well, that's it. Well, have a great day. Thanks for joining us, everyone.
Happy Memorial Day, everybody.
Happy Memorial Day. Thanks, Deb. Bye-bye.
Bye.